So since it's recording, it didn't occur to me before, but we could say today's date. Today's the day after summer solstice, right?
2 days.
Oh, 2 days after the solstice. Oh my goodness, where did the time go? For our invocation, who would like to chant out loud for the group which verse? So Rebecca, I guess you may or may not know this. We've been, people have been speaking out to chant, 1 or 2 of the verses in that invocation.
Okay.
I think we were doing that before when you were with us, but wasn't.
And which one are we doing?
Well, that long one that starts with Shuklam Bharadharam Vishnum.
Okay.
So people will, call out and say which verses they want ahead of time.
Okay.
Would anyone like to chant the first verse or the first 2 verses?
I will.
Okay. Thank you, Patty. So you'll chant the first 2, and then we have
I could do the third one.
okay. Do the
I'll
third
just give
one.
it a whirl.
Okay, give it a whirl.
I feel like I need to wait 1 more week.
Yes, that's absolutely fine. This is a long invocation. And when we did it in physical class, many of us, didn't know it. We just followed along as best we could. So it just took some time.
There's also Sahana Bhava too, Susan. I don't know if you know that one, because that's at the end after we do this whole thing. No pressure. I was just reminding you.
I honestly, I just feel this, the whole thing, I just need to listen to.
Yeah.
One more time.
So that's puts the pressure on all of you. You'd better do it well.
Yeah, I'm learning from all of you.
Okay, so we've got the first 2 are spoken for, and then Rebecca's going to do the third one. So I'll do the 4th one. And then after that, is it the guru one?
Mm-hmm.
I'll do the 4th one. And well, actually, Sandra, which one would you like to do one of these verses? Maybe you'd like to do the 3rd one.
The 3rd.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. The 3rd one is what Rebecca's doing, the 4th one. So.
Okay, I'll try the 4th one, because when it gets into the other side of the page, then I get lost.
Right, okay. Hi, Elizabeth, welcome back.
Hi, Leslie. Why, thank you. Hi,
Yay.
Patty. Hi, everyone.
Hi, Liz.
Hi.
Hi, Elizabeth.
Nice to
Yay,
be back.
Elizabeth can do them.
Yes, she can. So
What is she going to do?
I think we're up to the Guru Stotram, the Guru
Okay.
Yastad Guru.
Yep.
Okay. And then and Elizabeth, would you also like to do the Krishnamacharya one?
Sure.
Okay. And would somebody like to do the Desikachar one? I will if nobody else wants. Shishyakang Krish. Why don't I do it? And then maybe the next time. And then who would like to chant Sahanavavatu?
On the next page.
It should be on that handout. Is it there, Rebecca?
But I have it. Yes, I have it here.
Yeah, you probably have it in all kinds of places,
Sure.
like
sure.
me. Sahanavavatu sahanau bhunaktu sahaviryam karavavahai tejasvinavadhitamastu.
Ma vidvishavahai. Yeah,
Yeah, you've got it.
sure. That comes after the Desikachar.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Now I forgot, who's doing Desikachar? Is that me or somebody else?
You're doing it, Leslie.
Okay, all
I think
right.
it's you.
Okay. All right, are you ready?
Yes.
As you are ready, we can begin anytime.
Shuklam Bharadhadam Vishnum Shashivarnam Chaturpujam Prasanna Dhyanayet Sarva Vignopashantaye Yasya Dviravadaktradyah Parishatya Parashatam Vignan Nignanti Satatam Vishvaksenam Tamashraye.
Nanananda Mayan Devang Nirmala Spakti Kritim Adharam Sarva Vidyanan Hayagrivamu hold on. Hayagrivamu
Mahe.
Pasmahe.
Do it again, Rebecca. Do it again.
Just do that. Can you just do that last line for me, Leslie?
Yes. This are we starting with
Hayagriva.
Hayagrivamu
Hayagrivamu pasmahe.
Do the whole verse again. Oh. Sorry, I guess there was a confusion. Sorry. Okay. Rebecca, you go again, and then Sandra follows.
Okay. Janananda Mayan Devam Nirmala Spatika Kritim Adharam Sarva Vidya Adharam Sarva Vidyanam Hayagrivamu
Pundari Kashanasinam Pandura Bredunasanibam Akanda Bodha Janakam Hayagrivamu
Gurupyascha Namo Vakamadhimahe Vrinimahe Chatatradyau Dampati Jagatam Pati Shri Krishna Vagishayatishvarabhyam Samprapta Chakrankana Bhashyasaram Shri Nutnarangendra Yatau Samarpita Svam Shri Krishna Mariam Guru Varyamide Virode Kartike Mase Shatatara Kritodayam Yogacharyam Krishna Mariam Guru Varyamaham Bhaje.
Shishyakang Krishna Maryasya Nathavam Shapradipakam Kalyana Gunarupantam Shri Deshikam Namam Yaham Prashanta Purushakaram Viniyoga Pracharakam Vishesha Vaidikam Surim Tandeshikam Smaram Yaham Shri Guru Bhyo Namaha Harihi Om.
Om Sahana Vavantu Sahanau Bhunaktu Saha Viryam Karavavahai Tejasvina Vadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Thank you, everyone. Before we move on, let's chant numbers 3 and 4 again. I'll chant them, and then I'll chant it line by line. So we'll have a call and response, and so that we can get a little bit deeper in our familiarization. Did I see a hand up?
I do have a question. I don't know.
Yes.
Just about the first verse. What is like the translation roughly of the first?
Jnanananda Mayandevam. You're right. We start
No,
there.
no. Shuklam Baradhadam Vishnum. That.
Shuklam Baradharam Vishnum. Shukla is a word for white. Baradharam Vishnum. It's an incarnation of the white. And I am to Vishnu. Shashi Varna, the form of the rabbit. Shashi means rabbit, but it also, Shashi means rabbit. But many times in sacred chant verses, when we encounter the words Shashi, they're not talking about rabbit on the earth, they're talking about the moon. Because in India, a rabbit's face with its ears are seen in the moon. So Shashi also means the moon. Shashi Varnam Chatur Bhujam, 4 arms. Shuklam Baradharam Vishnum Shashi Varnam Chatur Bhujam Prasanna Vadanan Dhyayet. Dhyana. So I focus my concentration. Prasanna. And Elizabeth, are you familiar, or do you happen to have a translation handy? It's so funny. It was never translated for us in class. We just chanted it.
No, it was never translated for us.
I will seek this out. What I want to do now is perhaps in this next week, before we meet again next week, I'll make a recording of this whole thing.
You
so
did.
that you can really.
I mean, you did once before. I have sent it out. I can send it again, but I do.
Oh, I don't even remember doing it.
A while ago. So I do have one. You don't have to record another one. I could send out one.
The whole thing.
I just wondered about the first one because Jennifer Campbell that comes sometimes, I've been taking her yoga classes and she does that verse in the beginning of her class. And
The very first one. It's a salutation to Vishnu, who is an incarnation of Krishna, or Krishna is an incarnation of Vishnu, the expansive one. So that's why she's doing that.
And this isn't to do with, this is more the Vedic chanting than the Iyengar yoga. Like, does this get?
Yeah, no, none of this is.
This has nothing to do with the Iyengar, just making sure.
It's nothing we learned from the Iyengar yoga method. Although the Iyengar family, they are Vaishnavites. They honor Krishna. That is their chosen deity. That said, Mr. Iyengar's favorite chant in the whole world is the one to Lord Shiva, which is the but it's interesting. He's a Vaishnavite, but his favorite chant is the one that's in the booklet, the six verses to Shiva.
Because Jennifer teaches, she teaches Vinyasa Krama, like the lineage of Sri
Ramaswamy.
Yes.
Yeah. And
Ramaswamy,
his teacher was Krishnamacharya.
right.
Yeah.
So I'm just like trying to put that piece. I should ask her, but I just thought
Yes, you should, because
it's across, like why she does that one, I
yeah.
was just wondering a little about
Okay,
that.
so let's just go over the two verses. I think they're 3 and 4. I'm just gonna do them, and I'm gonna repeat each line. Yananandamayan devam. Yananandamayan devam. Nirmalaspatika kritim. Nirmalaspatika kritim. Adharam sarva vidyanam. Adharam sarva vidyanam. Hayagrivamupassmahe. Hayagrivamupassmahe. Pundarikasanasinam. Pundarikasanasinam. Pandurabhrendusannibham. Pandurabhrendusannibham. Akhanda bodhajanakam. Akhanda bodhajanakam. Hayagrivamupassmahe. Hayagrivamupassmahe. All of these chants in this one long invocation are as we learn it from Sonia Nelson, Deborah Kurian, and also Menaka Desikachar. So this is in Mr. Desikachar's tradition. They've chosen these. Now that said, they are all students of Krishnamacharya, and so most of the honoring is going to be, and most of the worship is at the feet of Lord Krishna. And Lord Krishna has these various forms. And the two verses that we just chanted, they are to Lord Krishna in the form of a horse. Hayagrivam upasmahe. Upasmahe is another way of saying we worship you or I worship you. Hayagriva is his name. That is another name for Krishna, another name for Vishnu. It can be a little confusing, but this is the incarnation. And so it's when he is in the embodiment of a horse, he saved the world from certain evils in this embodiment. And before that, so the first verse in this whole long invocation is to Lord Vishnu, and Vishnu is sometimes agreed upon as perhaps an earlier incarnation of Krishna. And then the second chant The second one is to Ganesha. So the obstacles, the second verse. And then the third and the fourth are the ones that we did. And then the fifth one is that beautiful verse, to gurus, all gurus. So it encompasses everyone who's been our teacher. And then after the chant to all of our gurus and all who came before us and are responsible for the knowledge that we now have, then come the people who were known. I did not know them, but my teacher's teachers knew Krishnamacharya, and my teacher was very close to Krishnamacharya. Excuse me, Desikachar is the last person. But I'm going to hunt for some translations for us all because we really should know what we're doing. We're in summer, and it almost looks like winter out my window because there's been so much rain. Let's do the Gāyatrī Mantra. We'll start with the vyāhṛtis. Vyāhṛti, it's such an interesting word. I can't even find it in the dictionary, but it has to do with these realms of existence. So the ones that are most closely associated with the Gāyatrī Mantra are, of course, earth, bhuhu. So bhuhu is a word for earth. Another word for earth is prithvi, and you've encountered that word in some of our Vedic chants. And then bhuvaha is the in-between realm, sometimes known as the atmosphere, that realm between earth and the sky above. And then finally, svaha or suvaha, svaha or suvaha, which is the higher realm. So in the beginning, we chant to those, I was never taught whether or not we're chanting to them. It's not, they're really om bhuhu, om bhuvaha, o gung suvaha. I don't think they're in the eighth case, which is the directive. We're not saying, oh, earth. We're not speaking to the earth or the atmosphere, the heavens, but we are chanting our reverence to the existence as we know it. And the first separation that we might be able to consider is earth, atmosphere, and heavens. So that comes first, and it sounds like this. Om bhuhu, om bhuvaha, o gung suvaha. So now I'll do that in call and response. Om bhuhu. Now we repeat. Om bhuhu. Om bhuvaha. Om bhuvaha. O gung suvaha. O gung suvaha. So our teachers have adopted this very, what we would call a Vedic form, because this is a Vedic chant. And so in the traditions that have come down to us, Om will change its sound if followed by a sibilant, a sa, for example. So Om Suvaha will change to Ogum, Ogum Suvaha. And the only reason is that it's the Suvaha that starts with a sibilant dental sound. And for some reason, it was decided that that's how it must be chanted. And it all comes back to the economy of the usage of the sounds in the mouth. So would anyone like to repeat that back aloud? Or would you like to just do it all together? Or actually, Elizabeth, would you please lead us?
So we're doing it together. If people are doing it together with me.
Yes, I think so. I think we can all do it together. But yeah.
Om.
Oh,
Hoo, hoo.
oh,
Om. Huvaha. Om Gung Suvaha.
Thank you. Then we have more specific realms or different ones. We have Om Maha, Om Maha, Om Janaha, Om Janaha, Om Tapaha, Om Tapaha, Ogum Satyam, Ogum Satyam. After Bhuhu, the earth, Bhuvaha, the atmosphere, Suvaha or Svaha, the heavens, then we have Maha, the great, the Maha. So we could think of it as, we could consider Maha as Mahat, the all-encompassing existence, if you will. And then after that, Janaha. Janaha is a man, mankind. Janaha, mankind. Om Tapaha, heating. And tapas in the Yoga Sutras is, of course, the burning zeal of the austerity of practice. And finally, Ogum Satyam, truth, that which is true. So now let's chant it all together from the beginning, from Bhuhu, all the way through all these realms, without call and response. Om Bhuhu, Om Bhuvaha, Ogum ha. Om Janaha. Om Tapaha. Ogum Satyam. Was that clear for everyone? Were you able to chant that? Is there any request to do this part over?
Leslie, I just have a question.
Sure.
So, just on the H, right, from the belly, that.
Yes.
Is it just because it's kind of at a slower tempo? Like part of me wants to always do like a ha, but it feels
Yes.
like this time when we were doing it, it was more like ha.
It depends on, perhaps I was just being more, less sharp with it.
Right.
Either one is fine.
Okay,
Yeah.
that was the question.
Ha ha. But thank you for bringing that up. Every time you read an H, or every time there's that ha or the visarga at the end of a word, aha, aha, that sound that has to be made can be more easily made, everyone, if we support that sound with the abdomen, as I know I've said before. But Susan, I think I mentioned it during our Bhagavad Gita thing, but just to repeat. So if we place our hands below the navel, and it's a strong, swift action of drawing the abdomen back towards the spine when supporting the sound ha. So, and actually in any Mahaprana letter, such as Bha, as in Bhu. So the first one is Bhu, long U, and it ends in Visarga. So there's a lot of abdominal activity here. Om Bhu. So there's twice, and almost an attack, if you will. And what this does, the reason why we do this is to preserve our vocal cords. It saves the throat. So we put the effort down there. Does anyone else have any comment or a question on that? And are you ready to go into the actual Gāyatrī itself? All right, so we were taught, Elizabeth and I were taught I learned it a particular way from Vyas Houston, and I did not know, I knew it was a beloved chant, and I knew that it was very popular, but I did not understand yet how very sacred it is. So the sacredness is expressed in paying attention to every sound. And when we do that, what we learn from our teachers of Vedic chant is that there is a specific melody. So every syllable is on a specific pitch, like in all Vedic chants. So here is the melody that has been taught to us by Krishnamacharya and before that. I'll begin with Om. Om Tat Saviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. Now, there will be a change, isn't there, Elizabeth? Because there's one note. Tat Saviturvarenyam Bhargo. I think I did something different. It depends on when we're doing it in a ghana or a Samhita. So we're going to do it in the Samhita. So repeat after me. Om Tat Savitur. Om Tat Savitur. Savitur Varenyam. Savitur Varenyam. Back to the beginning. Om Tat Savitur Varenyam. Varenyam Bhargo. Varenyam Bhargo. Bhargo Devasya. Bhargo Devasya. Just that far from the beginning. Om Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya. Then Devasya Dhimahi. Devasya Dhimahi. Devasya Dhimahi. All that from the beginning. Om Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi. Again. Om Tat Savitur Varenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi. Dhiyo yo naha. Dhiyo yo naha. Dhiyo yo naha. Once more. Dhiyo yo naha. Nah prachodayat. Nah prachodayat. Twice more. Now the naha, when that's the ending, it's naha. But when it is followed by something beginning at the pa, at the lips, the naha will change to na, as though we're blowing a feather at the end of na. Na pracho. Na prachodayat. Twice through from na. Na prachodayat. Na prachodayat. from the beginning. Oh, let me get a good pitch. Om Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. Om Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. Now I want to ask Elizabeth something. Elizabeth, were my svaras consistent with what is written?
I think so.
Okay. Because when we go into, the jata and all those things, when we break it down, then the melody can change. Elizabeth, would you like to chant this for us?
Okay. Om Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. Were my śīras okay? I think, Leslie, you're muted.
Thank you. Can you hear me? Now I can only see Elizabeth. I can't see anybody else because I did something strange.
Go to the top right where it says view.
I see post attendee Zoom. Support. No.
I think you're in like the browser. You want to go into the Zoom window.
Yeah, okay. Okay. Oh, no. Now they've got Zoom support. I did the wrong. Anyway, I can see you one at a time. I'm so sorry.
No worries.
Okay, no, I don't want the Zoom help center. Would someone else like to chant this?
I'll do it.
Thank you. I'll just figure out what I'm doing here.
Om Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat.
Elizabeth, what did you think? That's wonderful, Patty. Very nice.
Thank you.
Thank you. That was great. Yeah, I found a way to find. Now I see you all again. Isn't that nice? Would someone else like to chant this?
I will.
Okay, thank you.
Om Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo devasya dhimahi Diyo yo na prachodayat.
Wonderful. That was very nice and very clear. Would anyone else like to chant something? Sandra, Susan?
I can try.
Okay.
Here we go.
Thank you. Good. Yay.
Okay.
The new kid on the block.
Om Tat Saviturvarenyam Bhargo devasya dhimahi Diyo yo na prachodayat.
That was excellent. Excellent. So let me help you with Varenyam. Varenyam. Now I was listening. Can you hear that? The Varenyam. Miya. Varenyam.
Varenyam.
Yes, absolutely. I was listening to Desikachar's family doing this, and sometimes in the beginning, I'm hearing the male voice going, Tat Savitur Varenyam, 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 but it's Varenyam. The Gāyatrī Mantra has 24 syllables in it. But if we count it all, tat, sa, and here's how they counted when they didn't have pens and paper. They would tap the thumb on a part of the finger, one digit at a time or one part at a time. So there was one. So tat, sa, vitur, varenyam, bhargo, devasya dhimahi dhiyo yo na prachodayat. So 12. So I only got 23. So if you count 3 on each finger, all 5, then you get 12, and then so they're only 23. So sometimes they'll add something like Varein or Vareni Yam, then it works out to 24. So a lot of times they'll do that. It's just one of these idiosyncrasies, if you will. Then, so now let's go beyond that to the final. It's not so much the vyāhṛtis. What does it say on your page? I'm sorry, I don't have the handout in front of me. That's what I was looking for.
The śīras.
Yeah, the śīras, which really means head, doesn't it? So we close this chant by chanting Om Apo Jyoti Raso Amritam Brahma Bhur Bhuvasuvarom. Apaha or Apo is the waters. Apo. Jyotihi, the light. Apo Jyoti. Raso, the taste. Amritam, nectar, and nectar of immortality. Amritam, non-death, immortality. Apo Jyoti Raso Amritam. Brahma, Brahman. Bhur Bhuvasuvarom. And then we repeat those original 3 vyāhṛtis that were in the beginning. Brahma bhur bhuva suvarom. And so it's a lovely way of chanting the Gāyatrī with these vyāhṛtis, because we begin with bhur bhuva suvaha, and then we end with bhur bhuva suvaha. So we have an opening and a closing, sort of a beginning and an end. So repeat after me this final part. Om Apo. Om Apo. Jyoti. Jyoti. Amrit. Whoops, sorry. Raso. Raso. Amritam. Amritam. Brahma. Brahma. Bhur bhuva suvarom. So try run those three together. Bhur bhuva suvarom. So bhur bhuvaha. So bhuvaha has visarga, that H with a dot under it at the end. So it will undergo a different kind of a change when followed by, well, it will undergo a change when followed by the sibilant. So just as we had Om changing to Ogum, Satyam, for example, Bhuvaha changes to Bhuvasuvarom. Bhuva. So the visarga, aha, changes to a sa. So we're adding a second S sound. Om bhur bhuva suvarom. And then suvaha changes to suvarom. Suvarom. Because om begins with a vowel. All together, just the last part. And then let's put it all together. Om Apo Jyoti Raso Amritam Brahma Bhur Bhuva Suvarom. Shall we start from the very beginning and just feel the chant? And once we learn it, then, and it's really inside us, then we don't have to focus our attention on hearing each other. You don't have to focus on hearing me. Once the sounds are all there in their order, then we just really listen to ourselves, and we feel the vibration, and we feel and just take note of what happens for us. Hopefully good and wonderful things will always happen for us when we chant this. Om Bhu. Om Bhuvaha. Ogum Suvaha. Om Mahaha. Om Janaha. Om Tapaha. Ogum satyam. Om Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat. Om Apo Jyoti Raso Amritam Brahma Bhur Bhuvasuvaro. Now let's do it again, and we'll take it faster. Are you ready? Om Bhuhu Om Bhuvaha Om Suvaha Om Mahaha Om Janaha Om Tapaha Om Satyam. Om Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat. Om Apo Jyoti Raso Amritam Brahma Bhur Bhuvas Suvaro. Questions, comments, response, feedback?
I remember also, I have in my notes, right? You guys, or Elizabeth for sure, I remember you taught us to do the hand motions with it. Going up and the hands of prayer and the hands of prayer.
Thank you for that reminder. Would you all like to learn that again or for the first time? Elizabeth, would you be so kind?
Okay, remind me again, because I'm trying to think about how I taught that. So with the Tatsavitur,
I think
Tatsavitur Varenyam.
well, I have it at the beginning, the Om Buhu, Om Buvaha. I think our hands like come up, and then at there, this is just what I had written down: hands at prayer for the Tat Savitur, and then hands in front for the śīras.
Ah, so the hands just stay in
Okay. Okay.
That's just what I had written down, and was
That's
sorry,
fine.
to remember that. Like maybe
Okay, it's all coming back to me now. So yes,
That's
it's
great.
really, it's that kind of, the arms are coming up as we do the first section.
Great.
And
So
then,
so when you do it, Elizabeth, yeah, you can lead us through it. Do it twice through so we really can get the feel.
okay. Om Bhuhu Om Bhuvaha Om Gung Suvaha Om Mahaha Om Janaha Om Tapaha Om Gung Satyam. Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo devasya dhimahi धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् Om Apo Jyoti Hraso Amritam Brahma Bhur Bhuvasuvaro.
Thank you. That really feels like we can, it's so wonderful when we can gesture because we can really feel ourselves welcoming all the realms into us or asking us to be welcomed,
Yeah.
by the elements.
It almost, I'm not almost, but it definitely adds another layer because you're not just vocally, there's just another, when you move your body with the sound and the energy,
Yeah, it's more, isn't it like, it can be like freeing the voice when we're focusing something else and we just have this. And I just wanted to point out, because those of us in the Iyengar tradition, we don't practice pranayama with this chant. However, in the Ashtanga tradition, you do, don't you? You use this. It's very useful to support the breath pranayama as you practice this. It's wonderful to do that.
Yeah.
So it moves itself right into pranayama. Would anyone else like to chant it out loud for the group?
I'll do it.
Wonderful.
Om Bhuhu Om Bhuvaha Ogam Suvaha Om Mahaha Om Janaha Om Tapaha Ogam Satyam Om Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo devasya dhimahi धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् Om Apo Jyotiraso Amritam Brahma Bhuvasuvaro.
Thank you so much, Patty. I was able to do the arm gestures with it. It's like dancing to your voice.
I couldn't do both at once, so that you all did.
But you will.
I will.
You will, yeah.
Ladies, I'm going to head out to teach.
Okay.
It's my last class of the session,
Oh, wonderful, Susan.
so I can
nice
stay
to
next
see you.
week.
Yes, good. I'm
Thank
happy.
you.
I hope you enjoyed it.
I will. I did. Thank you very, very
Good.
much.
Bye,
Wonderful.
Susan.
Bye, Susan. Thank you. Whoops. So where did the time go? I had a feeling. I handed out all this other stuff. Well, it's all right. We have,
it would
The re-
really nice to be something really familiar like that
yeah,
for me, because I feel very rusty. So
okay.
thank you for that.
How about, I think we did this last week, but we can do it again. How about Karpura Gauram or Sarve Bhavantu? or if you have something in mind that we all would have in front of us. How about something short from Lagunyasa, just the refrain?
I have that one right here.
Or Twam Eva.
Oh, Twam Eva. Okay, Twam Eva Mata. Everyone knows that. Sandra, you know Twam Eva, right? It's in the book if you have it handy. And in the book, it's page 87. Would someone like to chant this? Or I'll chant it and then somebody else can chant it. How's that? Or Sandra, you know it. Would you like to chant Twam Eva?
I'll give it a try.
Okay, great.
Twam Eva Mata Chapita Twam Eva Twam Eva Bandush Chasaka Twam Eva Twam Eva Vidya Dravinam Twam Eva Twam Eva Sarvan Mama Deva Deva.
Thank you. That was lovely. Chanted from the heart. Would someone else, Rebecca, would you, I know you may know it to a different melody.
Yeah, maybe.
It's fine. It's fine. It's great to have the variety.
Twam Eva Mata Chapita Twam Eva Twam Eva Bandus Chasaka Twam Eva Twam Eva Vidya Dravinam Twam Eva no, let me do that again. Twam Eva Vidya Dravi. No, I think that's it. Dravinam Twam Eva. Twam Eva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva. Twam Eva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva.
Okay, now you're warmed up. Do it again.
Let me try that again. Twam Eva Mata Chapita Twam Eva Twam Eva Bandus Chasaka Twam Eva Twam Eva Vidya Dravinam Twam Eva Twam Eva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva Twam Eva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva Twam Eva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva. Something like that.
Something like that is something, some kind of wonderful. That was beautiful. I was harmonizing with you.
Right.
Someone else have a go? Have we chanted enough? Oh, Elizabeth, are you gonna chant? Or are you saying goodbye? I wasn't sure what that was.
Yes, this was kind of like one that I don't know as well, so it's kind of fun to, or well, it's the first time I was exposed to it was here with the.
Yeah. And you've heard different melodies, so it doesn't even matter. You know, if you just stick with you know, the long and short vowels and all that, you know, a melody sometimes just comes out,
So, and it is a beautiful.
emerges.
Twam Eva Mata, Japita Twam Eva, Twam Eva Bandush Chasaka Twam Eva, Twam Eva Vidya Dravinam Twam Eva, Twam Eva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva.
Beautiful. And I think if we all got in the habit of repeating the last line, it's sort of like, you know, it brings it all together. That was nice. How did that feel?
Good.
Yeah.
Felt good. It just feels like it kind of flows, like there's just a devotional quality to
Yeah.
the, you know, to the syllables, to the words.
Yeah,
It carries the thought, it carries the devotion.
yeah, it does. And it's just such a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful verse. Closing invocations. Elizabeth, would you please chant the whole closing invocation for us? Just everything. So we
Okay.
can-
Yadaksharapadam brashtam matrahinantu yad bhavet tat sarvang shyamyatan deva narayana namostute Shrimate Narayanaya Namo Namaha Kayena vacha manasendriyarva buddhyatmanava prakrate swabhavat karomi yadyak sakalam parasmai Narayanayiti samarpayami Sarvam Shri Krishnarpanamastu.
Thank you very much. Oh, gosh. Thank you all. Have a lovely evening.
Thank you, Leslie and Patty, Sandra.
So good
Elizabeth.
to see you,
Thank
Rebecca.
you.
Yeah, Rebecca, so nice to see you.
You, Rebecca.
Hopefully,
And as I mentioned, I guess you all read the letter. The next week is